Hello guys and girls, and thanks again for checking in to Spidertrax TV. We're having a great opportunity today to shoot part 2 to Kevin Sacalas' unit bearings. And for those that did not watch part 1 of the quest to measure Kevin Sacalas' unit bearings, you should pause this video and go back and do that. It's a video titled Domestic versus Import Unit Bearings. And in that video we talked about Kevin Sacalas' unit bearings. And for those that don't remember, Kevin Sacalas is the one that won Vegas to Reno, surprised the world by winning it with his nearly 5,000 pound rig. He was running Spidertrax unit bearings front and rear, and we measured those unit bearings after a 1,000-mile desert race, and they all had zero play. They were as tight as the day that we sold them to him. Now fast forward to today. We are now 2,300 plus miles of desert racing in. Kevin has completed not only Vegas to Reno, but he's done King of the Hammers, he's done Silver State 300, and he's done countless other competitions. So he's got over 2,300 miles of desert racing. Now, full disclaimer on the video, I got one of those unit bearings mounted up here, and we'll talk about the measuring procedure here in just a sec. And I also have one other unit bearing from Kevin Sacalas that's got over 2,300 miles of desert racing. And then the other two unit bearings back here are also his, but they have 700 miles of desert racing. So of course the big question is, where are the other two from Vegas to Reno? Well, one got slightly damaged from King of the Hammers, and I'll explain that. He suffered a pretty severe rollout in King of the Hammers, grenaded a wheel, and actually thought the unit bearing was completely fine. Finished the race with it, and we came to find out later that there was no bearing play, but one of his unit bearings actually suffered a slightly deformed wheel mount flange. So this guy had a slight deformation in it, and so he opted to replace that. Now when he did that in an effort to make the Silver State 300 race, he was crunched for time. He grabbed one of his spare units and threw that on. So one of the other original unit bearings from Vegas to Reno is actually being used as a spare. So we just have two to work with. This one right here and the one that's already mounted up, that again have over 2,300 miles of desert racing on them. So we'll go ahead and measure this. And for those that have watched the video before, we're going to do this slightly different just for sake of being a little bit more accurate in the test and also getting our hands clear of the shot. We're actually going to put a small pry bar in here as the unit bearing is mounted up. That way it gives us added leverage to see if there is any bearing play at all. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, and I'm going to let Eddie try to move that up and down. And let me get up top, try to be as fair about this as possible. Again, Eddie is using leverage on that, and it's not moving. So just like last time, we're going to take that dial indicator off, rotate it 90 degrees, and we're going to check bearing play 90 degrees from the position that we were in. All right. Not going to bother zeroing it. We'll just keep an eye on the indicator. It's going to move up and down. And again, zero bearing play. So that's zero bearing play on one of Kevin Sacalas' unit bearings with over 2,300 miles of desert racing. Again, a rig that's just about 5,000 pounds. Now we're going to go ahead and unfixture this. I'll keep the video rolling just for sake of keeping this as authentic as possible. And Eddie's going to go ahead and mount the second unit bearing up, and we're going to measure that for bearing play as well. Nice. All right, second unit bearing. Stand back here, you see how we're mounting this. Okay, make sure that's tight. All right, moment of truth. Second unit bearing. Going to set up our dial indicator. Just a reminder again from last time, any bearing play at all, even 1 thou of bearing play, we would consider a unit bearing to be arguably defective or needing replacement. And again, on the import versus domestic unit bearings, we had bearing play with brand new import unit bearings. All right, so here we go. We're using the pry bar. Let me zoom in here. And again, that dial indicator is not moving. Again, I'll zoom out so you can see what Eddie is doing here. And again, no bearing play. We're going to rotate that 90 degrees. Yep, there we go. Shoot it a little bit from a distance so you can see that gauge. Oh, we moved, we fell into the hole. Hang on one sec. That's what you get for candid videos, guys. All right, here we go. And there you have it. Zero bearing play. So guys, keep this into perspective now. We got 2 unit bearings over 2,300 miles of desert racing on a nearly 5,000 pound rig, and they're still as tight as the day that Kevin bought them. So there you have it, another testament to why domestic grade unit bearings, Spidertrax unit bearings, are definitely the ones you would want. And again, be very careful with the import ones when you guys get them. You can clearly see the difference here. Thanks again for checking in the Spidertrax TV. We appreciate it.